Welcome back to Ma's Garage.
I'm Kev.
I'm Crick.
And I'm Smokey.
I don't want to replace this with just another stupid addiction. Like, I'm going to quit smoking, but I'm going to go buy lotto tickets instead.
Rather try to use it as a tool than use it as an extension or an escape.
You've seen it with and without, and what is the reason that you can't achieve the same thing as with it without it?
On this episode, we'll be talking about sobriety and addiction.
So grab a log.
Join us by the fire. Huge one since the first of the year, especially.
Yeah, I think that's a good thing to start it off, is explain kind of how what kind of inspired this episode a little bit, is that, well, at least me and Kev, we went to, I've been wanting to take a break from cannabis for a while, but also figured that'd be a good time to take a break from a little bit of everything. So we talked about our New Year's resolutions, and we took a whole month off. So this whole month of January, which I've now heard is called dry January. That's actually a thing.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
Yeah. So we took a whole month off to just kind of see and take that break away from the substances for a little bit. That's, for me at least, that was caffeine, alcohol, and cannabis.
All the fun stuff.
Yeah, I had like a week advance on the caffeine just because I was going to try to restart my Uberman, which I still haven't. But it's crazy when you think about the reliance that we gain on some of these things. Like you don't even realize how reliant you are on them. Right.
The caffeine was honestly one of the first ones that I had to adjust to, just because like my energy levels were so out of whack. Like the first day I just had off, so I was just like sleeping all day, and I didn't have that thing to kick me back up and get the engine going in the morning that I was just so used to.
Have you ever had a Red Bull? I never had a Red Bull before, but I had a Red Bull last night. I really like Red Bull. I got a new necklace, glows in the dark, but you can't really see it right now unless you do this.
Because you haven't been using the caffeine, you've been looking for other substitutes to give you like not just natural energy, but like just get like natural sugars and stuff that gives you energy from stuff like that. And I'm sure that's had a little bit of a period to adapt to.
Yeah.
Because especially with like sugar energy, it gives you a lot of energy in the beginning, but there is a crash to it per se. Like if you eat a lot, and I've noticed, like if I eat a lot of like candy or a lot of like something with a lot of sugar, that in a little bit of time, eventually I'm going to be feeling a little bit more tired.
I've caught myself the same. My aunt and uncle gave me a bag of M&Ms, and I was like, I don't eat chocolate, I don't eat sweets like that, but I'll catch myself. Like even this morning I was like, I'll take a couple. I need a little bit of some kind of like sugar rush or some kind of little kick me up. So, and that's the thing I think you have to be careful about when trying to go sober, is that it's so easy just to flip-flop an addiction. It's like, oh, I'm not getting it from this, so I'm free of that, but you're doing this other thing 10 times as much than you normally would to try to like compensate for it.
Yes. I've tried to adjust for that, like catch myself, like grab the ding dong.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, say no more.
I don't need that today. I'm just gonna, make a smoothie for breakfast. Exercise has been huge too. I've been trying, because we talked about that. It's, I don't want to replace this with just another stupid addiction. Like I'm gonna quit smoking, but I'm gonna go buy lotto tickets instead. It's okay. I'm gonna do all these other things that are supposed to better myself too.
What I kind of thought about it as too is it's like a reason why I feel like I use a lot of substances is to mask the issue. You know what I mean? It's like you're not if you're tired because you're not getting enough sleep and you're just drinking coffee, all you're doing is put a band-aid on the situation. You're not getting more sleep like your body's telling you that you need. You're saying, I don't care, I need to do this other thing, so let's go. And when you take away those other substances, you're forced to be like, oh no, what does my body actually need? Because
the other blockades, right?
Like,
you start actually listening to it.
That's one of the things that got me to actually start exercising regularly, because like I'd be like, oh yeah, I should exercise. Oh, I need to exercise. But now I'm like, I need that energy. And so that's an actually decently healthy addiction I can kind of do.
It's incredible how much energy you get from exercising.
Which seems counterintuitive. You're like,
natural.
you think like, oh, I'm gonna exercise and that's gonna make me more tired. But that's not usually the case.
I mean, you are tired from like the workout, but generally like you take a little bit of time to recover. Like you're not working out and then just going home and sleeping. Like
Right.
it just doesn't typically work that way.
Right. Your body's sore, and that the soreness kind of invigorates me too. Like I'm like, when I feel the ache, I'm like, oh, I actually got a workout in.
Right.
Get your confidence going, get you motivated. Like
you may not necessarily do the yard work that you were supposed to do after a workout, but that's why you kind of want to plan for that.
I'm not gonna lie, since the dry January started, I've been doing a lot more stuff around my house. Like, then it's probably the same thing. Things that I should have been doing to the house, I was neglecting by doing these things to tell myself that I didn't need to do them.
Is because it's probably challenged you having that free you have the hours in the day, and if you're not like doing other activities, then you can find you're finding like things that need to be done as opposed to like hobbies that you can do.
You know, it didn't even just free up like free time, because it didn't take a lot of time to do the things that I was doing that I've quit doing, but it's freed up a lot of my mental time, like time for me to actually think things through. And it's like, okay, no, just get it done. Just get it done. The inner voice has gotten a lot quieter, I will say that.
Especially you look at the way like anxiety works, like these chemicals that essentially generate the dopamine that just kind of like continues the anxiety and continues the wheel.
Yeah.
Right. Mine's kind of the opposite though. Like my inner voice has gotten louder, but it's because I feel like I used to smoke a lot to kind of like quiet my brain down. So now I'm having to address those thoughts. Now I'm having to like actually be like, change my mindset or change the way that I do it. Like my organization has gone downhill a little bit, not terribly. Like some days I can get it going, but I think it's because of like, you know, with ADD and stuff, I used to take like medication stuff for it. And then caffeine was the substitute when I just didn't feel like getting up and cleaning. Caffeine would make me want to clean, but I've done it more where I like, once I get into it's kind of like art or anything else. Once I get into cleaning, then I can be in the mood for it. But at first I just don't feel like still doing the cleaning.
I don't know what it is. Like in my adulthood, like cleaning is like meditating to me.
Yeah.
It is nice. I won't lie. Like I get a lot of thinking done while I clean.
That too. And I can understand why people, like myself included, like you play music or something like while you're cleaning, because you're just kind of like, you're in the moment, you know?
Yeah.
That's how I am on like stimulants though. Like when I was on like Adderall and like even caffeine, I really enjoy cleaning. Like I can get in that mode where I'm just like that worker bee mood. And that's one of the reasons that I got off of Adderall in the first place, was because it made me great at being that worker bee and being organized and clean, but it stifled my creativity because exactly I was kind of zoning out into that kind of mindset instead of the more
and that would be my question, is you've seen it with and without, and what is the reason that you can't achieve the same thing as with it without it?
Probably because I don't enjoy it as much. It's making me change the reason why I want to clean, because I'm like, I know I should clean, but then now I'm more of that I need to clean because I need to keep my space organized so I can find the things that I want and do the things that I need to do. Where before it's like, oh, I know I'm expected to be to clean. I don't feel like doing it. So let me take this stimulant that makes me want to just focus my energy into whatever. I have all this energy. I need to focus it. Yeah, exactly. It's a kickstart.
My stance on the stimulants are they're not something that should be taken consistently and often, but they should be taken just at like moments where you need something to just kind of like get you that kick. Then once you have been in that mode, just like do your best to like stay in that mode and keep your mindset in that mode.
Right. Moderation. Like
that's where I've come. I don't know. This dry January has made me think a lot about that stuff, because I look, at least for myself, medications and drugs and stimulants, all of it are a crutch. They're to support me so I can continue with the bad habits that I'm choosing to do. You know, Adderall so I can clean when I don't feel like cleaning, even though I know I should. Since stopping all that, I've somehow managed to wake up at 5:30 every morning, exercise. That gives me enough energy to do the dishes and laundry before I even have to leave for work every day. That's what I do And while I'm doing this stuff, it gives me
Nice.
ideas that I end up writing in my journal and stuff, or drawing pictures and stuff. And it's stuff that I probably should have been doing my whole life, but because I graduated school, I didn't have gym class, so I'm not going to exercise.
Today we're going to play a game that's as old as pain itself. Bombardment.
I'm intrigued. What are the rules?
Duck or die!
Oh!
Bombardment! Deal with it! Bombardment! Life's a bitch, son! Bombardment! Bombardment! Walk it off! Bombardment! Bombardment!
No! I caught it. I'm safe.
I get that.
That's where like I used to see it as kind of like that, like a crutch. Like especially when I was doing it, that's one reason I wanted to get off of it, because I was feeling I was relying too heavily on it. And that's where I feel like now, I don't know if it's me wanting the addiction still part, wanting to go back to it, but I feel like part of me also now wants to see it as a tool. Like I'm excited to be able to smoke weed again. I'm not going to do it all the time, but I'm excited for when dry January is to be able to smoke and try to do something creative and kind of explore that mindset from a different view. And same thing with a cup of coffee. And like I was talking to somebody about that with acid as well. Like I used to take acid more recreationally and just for, a party night. But now if I took it again, I want to do something with it. I would rather try to use it as a tool than use it as just like an extension or an escape. You know what I mean? Like utilize it more, not rely on it.
More ways than one, right?
You should do what the traditional artists of our time did and just drink absinthe.
I would, if I could get my hand on some true absinthe, I'm down. Like
you can get it from New York. Somebody told me about it.
Yeah.
I mean, there should be liquor stores out in your area that should sell something to the degree of like the original absinthe that you get like overseas and stuff. Because
I thought that was not really absinthe.
The beverage warehouse down the road from us carries like the actual absinthe.
It actually has the root in there, because I thought it was like, oh, okay. I thought it was like, oh, this is absinthe. No, it's just called absinthe.
I gotta say, I'm not feeling anything.
Me neither. Sober as a judge.
How about you?
I'm not feeling a goddamn thing. This absinthe is bullshit.
I hear you, my brother.
I'm out of here.
Like licorice flavored alcohol.
Yeah, we got that one time from Orchard Market. I remember that.
Yeah.
No, because Josh really likes it, and he has like a drink makes with it. I had an absinthe night like a while ago, and it was wild. Like drinking the stuff, like you literally like your mind, your mental was 100% there. Like you were 100% cognizant. You didn't feel drunk. But then as soon as you stood up or like tried to move, you're just like, whoa, like your body is drunk, but like your mind is so like, it was just crazy.
And that's where I think it's a tool. It can help you step outside of the everyday rat race. It can help you step outside of that everyday mindset that we kind of get put into and what you have to focus on. Like I appreciate the relationship that I had with cannabis. I abused it a little bit in the beginning, but like, before I even took this break, I was weaning it down to doing it much more as dosing it out instead of just getting high all the time.
Mm-hmm. And especially like, living by yourself. Like it's not necessarily social for you at that point.
So yeah, recently, which a lot of you viewers probably don't know, is I just moved back to Michigan from Colorado.
Why?
And now I'm in a place on my own, and I wasn't drinking much in Colorado. I wasn't a big drinker. Soon as I moved back to Michigan, man, I was polishing off like fifths and half gallons like it was nothing. And it was like, because I was here alone. I had nothing else to do. And I moved out here on purpose so I could focus more on my creative works and the things that so I had stuff to do. I just didn't want
to do other stuff to distract yourself from
what was supposed to be inspirational at first just became overtaking.
Right. And since dry January, I've already done some more drawing than I was doing in the first month. And I guess I did some stuff in the first month too. I did work on some projects and created some stuff, but wrote on the book and stuff like that. And this month, the dryness, it took a while. Like being creative when you're used to using a substance to be creative, learning how to use your natural energy to be creative, it's still there. It's still there. You're still a creative person. You just need to find a new way to tap into it.